Hello everyone, my name is Saumya. I welcome you all to Kalam Academy. In this video, I will be discussing the parliamentary system of government. Let's look at it. The Constitution of India provides for the parliamentary form of government both at the center and in the states. So the Constitution has provided for it. First, you have to remember this, okay? And it is not provided by any act, but by the Constitution itself. So it provides the parliamentary form of government at the center, which is mentioned in Article 74 and 75. And the parliamentary form of government is provided in the states, and that is mentioned in the Article 163 and 164. Okay. Now, what is parliamentary system of government? Now, this is the one in which the executive, the people who implement the laws, they are responsible to the legislature, the people who make laws for these policies and acts. Okay. Now, this system is also called as the parliamentary democracy. Okay. Now, in this, what happens is the executive, they will gain their political legitimacy only when they have the confidence of the legislature. Okay. When they lose the confidence of the legislature, then they will be removed from the system. So the executive and the cabinet, they have to be accountable for their acts and their policies to the legislature, to the parliament. Now, the parliamentary system of government is also known as the cabinet government. Why? Because the cabinet is the nucleus. Cabinet is the nucleus of power in the parliament. It is like the powerhouse of the parliament. Cabinet consists of most important ministers who takes the major and the most significant of the decisions. Then it is also known as the responsible government, because the cabinet, who are the real executive, they are accountable to the parliament. Okay, so and they will stay in office so long as they enjoy the confidence of the parliament. So that is why it is also called as the responsible government. And then it is called as Westminster model of government after the location of the British Parliament, which is the Westminster. Okay, because this is the place where actually the parliamentary system of government originated. Okay, so this is the major overview of the parliamentary system of government. Now, before we begin the discussion on the features of the parliamentary form of government, you may try to attempt these questions based on our following discussion. Okay, these are the two questions. Now, let's look at the features. Now, the first feature is the nominal and the real executive. Now, in the parliamentary system of government, we have both the executive. We have dual executive. The president acts as the nominal executive and the prime minister acts as the real executive. Okay, the president is called the de jure executive and the prime minister is called the de facto executive. President is the head of the state, whereas the prime minister is the head of the government. Okay, and in Article 74 provides for council of ministers who are headed by the prime minister, and they aid and advise the president. They aid and advise the president for its policies and acts, and the president is bound to act on their advice. So their advice, the council of ministers advice, is binding on the president. Okay. Now the second feature is the majority party rule. Now we all know in parliamentary system of government, the political party which secures majority seats in the Lok Sabha will form the government. Majority seats will form the government. Okay. And the leader of this party who has formed the government will be appointed as the prime minister by the president. So president will appoint, and the other ministers will be appointed by the president only, but on the advice of the prime minister. Okay, on the advice of the prime minister. And when there is no single party who has won the majority of seats, then the president will call for coalition government. Okay, then the third feature is the collective responsibility, which we have seen that the executive the cabinet, they are collectively responsible for their acts to the legislature, to the Lok Sabha in particular. Okay, so they are sustained in the system only when they have sustained the confidence of the legislature. And the Lok Sabha can pass the vote of no confidence and remove the ministry if they have failed to gather their support and confidence. Okay, then the fourth feature is the political homogeneity. This means that the council of ministers, they usually belong to the same political party. The nature of the system is homogeneous, okay, and hence they share the same political ideology. Then we have double membership. Now the ministers, they are the members of both the legislature and the executive. Okay, that means a person cannot be a minister without being a member of the parliament. Okay, so the constitution has said that a person can be appointed as a minister without being a member of the parliament for 6 months. And when this time gets over, that person will cease to be a minister. So if he wants to sustain himself as a minister, then he has to become the member of the parliament within these 6 months. Then we have the leadership of the prime minister. Now the prime minister enjoys a great amount of power, position and influence. Okay, he plays a leadership role, dominant role in parliamentary form of government, and he is the leader of the council of ministers, he is the leader of the parliament and the leader of the political party. Then we have the dissolution of the lower house. That means the Lok Sabha can be dissolved. The Lok Sabha can be dissolved by the president, but only on the recommendation of the prime minister. So in this case, the executive, the prime minister, they enjoy the right to get the legislature dissolved. Okay. And then we have the secrecy. This means that the ministers, they operate on the principle of secrecy of procedure, and they cannot divulge the information about their proceedings, about their policies. Okay, and they take the oath of secrecy before entering the office, and this oath is administered to the ministers by the president. President administers the oath to the ministers. So these were the features. I hope you got some clarity on the parliamentary system of government. Now, based on our discussion, you may try to attempt these questions. I will see you in the next video. Thank you.